Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and in this video I am going to show you 25 plus rat holes, very difficult to raid base locations, hidden spots, all kinds of super awesome things. These are all made for PvP. These are all on official settings, by the way. On all of these can be worked because I'm able to play structures inside of them, and yeah, so they're all going to be pretty useful. So let's go ahead and get started with probably one of my favorite rat holes right off the bat, and that right there, I guess the one we're going to. This is the first one, and it is one of the new rat holes inside of the game, and you can see that it is a massive spot inside of this. Now, it's got a huge area that you can place stuff the entire way around in here. You just have to find the right spots, and you can see that you can kind of like pillar your way up and in. It is a massive zone that you can put a lot of verticality and, like, I don't know, probably a 7x7 structure inside of. And I'm just gonna have the coordinates in the upper left corner of my screen so you can see my exact location. And that's 76.7, 95.6. And the entrance to this guy right here can be found by going up and into, there's another one down there. I'll talk about that one later though. But that can be found just by going to these coordinates, looking at the map right here, finding this little like inner area right here, and then kind of moving your way into this area and then going up. Now, once you go up, you will end up in this big old crevice, and this is a great rat hole that you can definitely capitalize on early. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them. I kind of want to show you guys all of them before we get too far in this. And I have enough. You will find a base location or find people to raid, I guess, if that's what you're watching this for. I hope we'll see though. So this is my second spot. It is a doozy, and this one right here, just so you can see where I am right here. And it is a massive zone. You can see that there is I mean, the amount of space that you have in this one is absolutely wild, right? You can see sometimes there are these things that spawn inside of here, but they don't actually really do any damage. Negative side, right? So this is how you get into it, just so you can see. Let's go ahead and go back to where we are right now. And again, the cords are always going to be in the upper left. For those of you that are like, what are the cords? What are the cords? What are the cords? Look in the upper left corner. So you see the land bridge. You're just going to go underneath the land bridge and hit this massive open area right here. It is huge. This is probably one of the bigger rat holes that I've ever seen inside of Ark, with only that one entrance, and there is so much room. And then you can kind of tuck things further away, and you can literally go for quite a ways and then drop down into some areas that are just kind of nuts. So if you wanted to have multiple layers of a base, yeah, I don't know how you're getting into this one if someone's actually got some good turret setups going on. Because with that only one entrance being the thing, this thing is a gargantuan base location, especially considering that the only one entrance is that tiny little spot, and you've got this massive place to build inside of. So that is spot number 2. And yeah, definitely a big one, definitely worth building in, and it is huge. So definitely check that out. So let's go ahead and go to spot number 3. Now the cords, in case you're curious, are also on top of, when I click on those teleport locations, they will be there as well. I'm trying to show you as quick as I can because there's a lot to get through in this video. So this next one, a little bit of a smaller rat hole, but I like this one because it is not a common thing that people are going to see. So just so you can see, here we are, 8.146, and yeah, so you can see this is where we are. There's the tree that I use as my little marker to get inside of this one, and you're going to go where I am heading right now. It is a crouch hole. You can kind of get inside of this thing, and there is plenty of space for you to build in. And you can kind of just see that this is a little area right here as well. Excuse me, burp there. But it's a cool little spot, and you can kind of like tuck yourself away in this little zone right here. Again, the point of a rat hole is you're not always going to want to go to the most powerful one because people are going to constantly be looking in those locations. But you want to go to these locations that are a little bit easier to get to, easier to see, and seem like they wouldn't be super strong because they are going to have a bunch of less people checking on these rat holes, which is obviously what we're looking for. You don't want to be raided, so that's why you're looking at this video right now. Yeah, this is a good one, definitely not a bad one, and definitely check that one out as well. Smaller though, again, some of these are for larger tribes, some of these are for really small kind of store your stuff situations, but you can do whatever you want to with them. So let's go ahead and hit up spot number 4. And next up on our list, wow, it got really dark. I need to change the time of day. Let's go ahead and put it to 10 o'clock. Go. All right, so this is another massive rat hole. You can see that we are in the, not the mesh, but we are like next to one of the flat zones that is kind of marked as a mesh standpoint. And yeah, it's a huge, tall zone that you can make your way up into. And if you're smart with building, you can easily get a lot of verticality to this one because this entire area right here is completely flat. And it's a super nice location, just so you can see the map. There you go. We are on Lava Island. And yeah, a lot of space. There's some water right there. And obviously you can see that this is kind of where we're at. But again, very large zone. And point is that it's flat on the bottom of this thing, right? A lot of space, a lot of stuff that you can do with this one. And yeah, it's a really nice location, and I'm just trying to show you all of this one because this I think this is where I want to build, in my personal opinion, because there's it's just, I mean, you can see that I'm like, it's just a huge location. That's all it comes down to. There's plenty of space to do whatever you could possibly need to do inside of this one, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is nuts that you can actually get something like that away. Also, the fact that there's water here is super cool. So you should definitely check this one out. I'm literally lost right now trying to find how I got into this one. I always forget I should not put the teleporters on the inside, and this is exactly why, because it's so difficult to figure out when you're still learning the entire map itself. Maybe I'll find it. I think I did. There we go. Yeah, I was like, I can never remember. All right, so again, near that one tree that we were just at, right? Here is this one, 6.8, 47.7. This one, again, very difficult to get into. The reason is it looks like you can't get into this one because you just hit a flat wall right here. However, what you can do is go down into the right. See how I get like hit, there's a wall right here and it looks like I can't actually get past that because there's mesh. You go down into the right and you can get into this one, and that's how you get to this flat surface right here. And then again, you've got water here, so you can actually raise water-based tames, and you can do a whole bunch with this one. So this is another really strong one, and definitely take advantage of this one. So let's go ahead and go to rat hole number 5. Now, there will be some of these that are a lot smaller, so just keep that in mind. Some of these aren't super huge, but some of them are much, much bigger, and there's not really a necessary order. This is one of my favorites as well because it's in the Underworld, and it's kind of, I mean, this is crossing the line of almost meshing, right? But we have this perfectly flat structure, perfectly flat surface right here. It is not in the mesh. It is actually incredibly easy to get to. And all you have to do is get inside of the Underworld and go into the side cave. Once you get into the side cave, the exact coords are right here. And you're literally just going to go into this cave, get up to the, like, it's not even, I don't even know what the point of this is, but they forgot to fill in a hole right here. All you got to do is build on it. That's it. So this is the side cave in the Underworld, and you literally can just build on this entire thing. And if you really wanted to be a little cheekier, you could also jump up on this thing, this little pad right here. And this is still, I mean, you can see that this is not actually like, this is just a hole they left. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but it's definitely a super nice building spot. And you can build a really nice base location in this zone. So definitely take advantage of that one. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Rat hole number 6. Man, I had a lot of them. So I got a lot of teleporting locations, and it doesn't alphabetize them, which is frustrating, but you know, it is what it is. Now, anyways, if you haven't done so already, please smack that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. All right, so let's go ahead and change our time of day again. But this is a bear cave. If you haven't seen the bear caves in this game before, it is a super useful base building spot. There's lots of zones. This specific bear cave is going to be at 28,860, and there are 2 entrances to this one. And just so you can kind of see the entrance, move around and go into the side of it, and into this one we go, and then out the other side. So these, I mean, these next 3 or 4 are going to be the larger bear caves. So just keep that in mind. If you want to skip over the bear caves, you're more than welcome to, but there will be more rat holes after I go through the bear caves. Bear cave, was I on 5? I'm on 6. We'll go to 6. But the bear caves are very popular building locations. Some of them are more meant for medium to larger size tribes. I think this is the one I was just in, wasn't it? Yeah. No, it's not. This one's got a little bit different. So this one is a slightly different bear cave, very similar style though. You've got the entrance into the side, and again, the cords in the upper left corner, and you kind of just duck down and into this one. And then there's the water down over there. Maybe this is the same one I was just in. Never mind. What am I talking about? Man, they're so similar though. There's 3 bear caves that have the same build, and the rest of them are different. All right, bear number 7. I was like, man, think that, but there are 3 of them that look just like that. So this is number 7. This is probably one of the most popular bear caves in the game due to the fact that it is a massive inside with a bunch of really cool structures. PvE players like this one a lot too because it's inside of a building and bears are your only problem, obviously. There it is on the map. And basically you can see that we've got this massive inside zone. You've got a lot of verticality if you wanted to build a tall base. And the only way in is around this corner over here. And we'll go ahead and get to the entrance over here. You can see what it looks like. But again, this is the only entrance into this one. And just like that, we are in this zone. Now it might be a little easier so I can hide, or I'm going to hide the instant foliage. You can see where we're at right now. Again, here's the map. You just enter into the cave over here, and it is a really popular bear cave just because it's very difficult to raid with that corner right there. And then you've also got a massive inside zone. So definitely capitalize on the ability to use a bear cave like this. So yeah, pretty nice. All right. I'm just going to start typing numbers in and hopefully the game can figure it out. All right. So bear cave, this one, number 8, again, another mid-sized bear cave. It's a tiny little hole. This one would be more difficult to raid and it's more meant for like a solo or a 2-man squad where you kind of have like a little mini kill wall right here. And on the backside, you have your base, but can be very useful, especially if you put a turret tower on the outside of it. The cords can be found in the upper left corner, don't forget, and you can just get inside that cave. Now it is a medium-sized cave, so definitely keep that in mind because it's a smaller entrance area. So yeah, just be careful about that. A lot of people forget that with the entrances like this that you need to be a little bit more careful when you're defending them. So yeah, keep that in mind. All right, rat hole number 9. Here we go. Come on now. Thank you. Sometimes I wish it was an instant teleport. And this one is another bear cave. You can see we are inside of this one right here. Yep, just like this. And it is a neat one. It is mid-size, and you could definitely get a small tribe inside of this. Not a big tribe, but a small one, and then put a turret tower on the outside of it. But just like I've said before, it is a bear cave, so it literally just is meant to be a bear spawn location. And you can utilize this outside area to build a turret tower and then build your base down inside of it. So definitely something that you should check out. But again, not the most popular base just due to the fact that it is a more raidable location, but the bear cave is, I mean, they're useful. I'm still getting through all the bear caves though. Now this bear cave, on the other hand, is almost impossible to raid. So this one, there's your cords right there. Again, another one that's big enough to have the man-made structures on the inside of it. You can see that we've got this a really neat system in here, literally like a little room. You've got stairs. You've got a whole system over there. You've got this area, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. And there we are. Here is the entrance to this one. Again, a very popular build location because you can put a turret tower on the outside, and you just go down inside this cave. Again, this one is meant to be inside of the game, so this isn't like a cheeky thing. This is always going to be here. They meant to put it in. You have so much storage in this one. It's almost funny. You can see how big this area is. So like this is a massive cave that a lot of people like to use, and it's just a really popular base spot. So definitely, if you're on a PvP server, this one will be taken quickly. So take advantage of that. And again, this is one of those ones that you can build a ton inside of. So rat hole number 11, I think this might be the last bear cave if I'm not mistaken. But this one is another good one. So you can see small mid-sized bear cave, small entrance point over there. And in order to get to it, you're just going to have to get to these cords right here, 4059. And you kind of just get into this little side. And again, I like bear caves because it just prevents you from, like, you can just put your stuff inside of this and build your turrets on the outside, which is a effective thing to protect your base. So definitely capitalize on that because it's one of those things where having stuff inside the cave without the walls is a useful technique. All right, I think this might be the last rat hole or bear cave. We'll see. We might be back onto the rat holes at this point. All right, so nope, we have, oh, this is another popular one. So this is bear cave 4352, and again, you can see we've got water inside of this one. Not deep water, but water. And it is a really neat bear cave because you have this very unique functionality of this just big old cave. And it's very difficult to raid, again, due to the fact that it's a big zone on the inside with a small passageway that you have to get through in order to actually go to it. You can see big cave, small entrance, people like that. Lots of verticality too, because here's your entrance over here. And yeah, so a lot of pachy rhinos and triceratops on the outside of this one. But it is a cool one because you can kind of build a nice turret tower on the outside and have a turret tower on the inside and have them be equal distance apart. So the cords, again, in that upper left corner. So don't be like, hey, you know, Teach, what are you talking about? They're right there. But yeah, pretty massive bear cave. And a lot of people have a lot of popularity with something like that size. So let's go ahead and go to Rat Hole 13. And again, if you haven't done so and you're still watching, just hit the like button. That would be so appreciated. It helps out a ton. You don't realize it. Now, if you're really feeling nice, leave a comment below for that algorithm. That would be awesome. All right, so now we're kind of back into the rat holes inside of the game, right? So I like this one. Some people don't consider this to be a rat hole, and it kind of is, it kind of isn't, because you're up against the edge of the map in the very corner of it, right? You can build pretty close to the middle and surface up here, and this entire zone, you can kind of tuck your way up and behind and go into small little zones like this, and people are never going to even think to look here for you unless you start to draw attention to yourself. It's a very good starter for a few days base location, just because you have the ability to actually tuck a lot of things away, and it's a massive space. You can toss out a couple wyverns or a couple giganotosauruses or rexes, and unless someone's genuinely looking for the spot, it is very difficult to spot, and it's very difficult to get to. And then have a couple of storage boxes like in some little tiny corner like this over here, and you're just going to be, it would be very difficult for someone to actually locate something like this. So this is like a little mini spot, but it's just getting us back into the rat holes. All right, rat hole number 14. Now, again, we are back into the actual true rat holes at this point in time. So for those who didn't want to know where the bear caves were, well, that's fine. So the next spot is another one of those that's kind of off in the middle of nowhere. You can see that's where I'm looking at right there. So you can kind of get a little gander, 7480. And again, right here we go, this nice little flat zone. Now, this again is not meant to be one that's more like a long-term rat hole or a long-term area to hide. This one is meant to be something where you pop a couple of things down to raid a server, maybe for a couple of days, and then hop back off. It's a very difficult spot to find because it is underneath a ledge, so the light is actually messed up right here. So you can't really see anything super well, but you can also raid that rat hole over there, and there's a couple other over here that you can use this as a starting point. Because you can place turrets upside down and stuff like that, it makes this a very difficult to raid rat hole. So definitely capitalize on that. But this is more of a raiding point instead of a true rat hole. It's not what I wanted. I wanted 15. So rat hole 15, 15, 16. I kind of mislabeled them, but take it for what you will. All right, this next one. This is a very popular rat hole. Now, if you haven't been inside of this one, this is the ice cavern rat hole. This one, massive flat zone on the inside, almost impossible to raid because you actually have to crossbow your way into this one. It is a very hard spot to find. You can see where I am right now, obviously, right? Okay, lag spike. Oh my goodness. Hello. And there are a few little like nooks and crannies that make this one very, very powerful. You can technically get water out of this too if you put something up against that, and it just drops down into this very nice large little zone right here. And you can kind of tuck a lot of, oh man, going between two zones. I forget that the game doesn't like when you do that. Notice that I am also inside of water according to the game, even though it's not real water, but you know, it is what it is. There is a really, like, again, nice and flat. That's what we're looking for, right? To get inside of this zone. It can be difficult to find your way out of this one because you have to get up onto a ledge and then drop yourself down. I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's go ahead and ghost our way out. Oop, wrong button. All right, so in order to get into this one, you're just going to get to the window. There's two. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. See this window right here? This is the window on the outside of the ice cave. You're going to go ahead and find your way right here. You're going to drop down. Why not? Come on now, game. Thank you. So you land on this window right here. You end up jumping up here. You're going to have to grapple up to this. Once you grapple up to this, you can kind of move your way through this water right here. And then you can drop your way down into the rat hole. And this is a very popular one. It's an old one, but it existed in the last game and they didn't remove it for this one. Very useful spot and a nice spot to find a good base location for you. Let's go ahead and go to rat hole 16. Wait a minute. I think I just, what? I'm going to go ahead and wait till this one's done. I realized that I meant to say rat hole 15/16 because apparently I messed up. So you're getting a couple of bonus ones because why not, right? All right, so 15/16. Oh my goodness, it's dark in this one. There we go. Okay, so this one right here is also right next to the ice cavern. Again, those cords are in that upper left corner. And what you're going to do in order to get into these two, there's two of them right here. So you're going to go to right next to where we were right there, right? You're going to go up into this ledge to the right-hand side. And there's a mini rat hole right here, just like this. And here we go. Really? You're going to make me do this? Thank you. A little mini thing that you can kind of tuck your stuff up and away in right here. It's one that people are never going to check, and you've got to crouch to get into, so good luck getting into that. And again, you got a little bit of a flat surface here that you can kind of move around with and stuff like that. But it is a difficult to get to location, so I don't know how you're going to even think about that. But instead of going to the left, if you go up to the right in that same location, you can get up into this rat hole, which is where we kind of spawned in. And this one right here is quite a bit bigger. It is, again, small, mid-sized tribe can fit into this one, but because it is like multiple corners up around, it's going to be very difficult to actually get up inside this rat hole. So keep that in mind. Again, with the changes to cryopods, it also makes it very difficult to throw anything out right here. So someone's going to have to think about raiding you, which people don't like to do. And that definitely prevents a lot of people getting raided. Let's go ahead and go. Nope. No. I don't want to go to PVE 16. Stop. What are you doing, man? Crazy. All right. So let's go to rat hole. Where is it? I want to make sure I'm not typing this in wrong. Yep, 17. I thought I was missing it, but you know, it is what it is. All right. So rat hole number 17, another one that is a very powerful rat hole. Let's go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. So the cords, so you can see it's a weird one, but if you kind of end up looking at this ledge right here, I'm zooming way out so you can see. You zoom in and kind of like fly your way into this one. This right here is a nice little spot that you can end up and no one's gonna know you're here. It is a lovely little tucked away corner that people are gonna have a hard time getting to you. And again, like you can see, there's a whole bunch of like little tiny spots right around here. I love this little ledge. A lot of people don't like it. And you've got a little hideaway zone behind it. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And back behind it, you have this tuck away corner. And yeah, it's a small mid-size for sure. You're not going to be getting a whole bunch of stuff with this one. It's a mid-size, right? Like you're not getting it's more of a stash location than it is anything else. So just keep that in mind. So pretty cool. Nice little ledge. And a good overall rat hole. And rat hole number 18. So let's go ahead and get to this one. You can see we've got a bug of death right there. So hello, buddy. Can we not do that and say we did? So this one is a rat hole from the last game, just so you know. There's it on the map. There is the man-made structure that you can also build inside. And then right in front of you, there's a little tuck away that you can drop down into. It is a very popular one because you can do two things. One, you can build on the very bottom and kind of walk and crouch your way around to the bottom side of this. And there's a lot of little nooks and crannies in this one that you can end up getting inside of. But there's also a really nice flat zone that you can build turrets inside of. And it is a crouch point. So good luck getting anything that can actually raid something inside of this one. Because on the back side, you have a very large, you see it, very large zone that you can build in. Definitely something that is a more popular rat hole because it is an old one that existed back in the original center. So definitely this is a one that you're going to want to pick up early just due to the fact that it is a old but very useful rat hole because you can build on the outside and the inside of this one because it is a larger zone. Yeah, definitely something that you're going to want to capitalize on early because it's a drop point. So it's difficult to raid with like any of how do I say this? Any of the easier to raid with large things, you're going to have to avoid. So stegos are pretty much the only way to get in there. And someone with a tech turret is just going to smoke you off of a stego. So yeah, good luck. Ain't raiding that one. All right, let's go ahead and go to rat hole number 19. And again, all of these are buildable. This is on official settings. Now I say it's unofficial, but they might change that. So just keep that in mind. So next one on our list is right above the actual floating island, and it's on this little corner, just so you can kind of see where we're looking. Let's go ahead and back out, zoom out, and then zoom right back into where we were talking about. So this spot right here, right? A lot of little nooks and crannies in this one. It makes it a little bit difficult to actually read and get to, but because it is difficult to get to, that's what we're looking for because that's the goal. You've got a lot of little nooks and crannies that you can get into, but the point is we want to get into this one. Now, once you get into this one, it is... Oh, really? You're not going to... Come on. Thank you. All right, so you can get up into this one. It is a little guy, and you can kind of move around back in here. It is a very small rat hole. It is a storage location more than anything else. Maybe a solo tribe could fit its way into this one, but that's kind of what we're looking for. And yep, we have this one, and it opens up. Just kidding. Yeah, so that's what a lot of people are going to find right there. But if you tuck and go up a little bit further, you can fit into this massive zone with that's the only entrance right there and a whole bunch of turrets pointing down at that one entrance point. There is absolutely no chance anyone could raid this. None. You can't rocket run. You can't shadow main your way into this one. You can't anything. Because of this little spot right here, the only thing that can fit through is a player. You can't really jump anything through this. So you've got another one of those massive zones on the inside that opens up and you just get a whole bunch of space. You can tuck your way all the way down, and there's that second point right there. You can see this is technically in the mesh, so that's a no-no. But as long as you're not really going down in there, you can kind of keep your way up into the top of this one. And this one's a little riskier, obviously, because there is that mesh point underneath it. But there is a ton of space. Again, mesh point above, too, because you can kind of get out right there. But that's not really what we're focusing on. We're focusing on the actual mini hole on the front side, and it might get closed on the back side of this one, but it is a very popular base location due to the fact that it does have that just massive place to build. So definitely keep that one in mind, and it's a popular one. So let's go ahead and go to rat hole 20. Just so we're both clear, I think this is the one that we were just at in 19. If I'm not mistaken, that one was in the original center. That's why it's popular. The next one on our list, again, this one is a unique one. Lava Island has a few rat holes. This one's got a little mini tuck away. I'm going to show you what I mean by that, right? So there's some lava. There's the zone. I'm going to go ahead and go back into it. And again, the cords are in the upper left corner. We're going to go ahead and drop into this guy. It is a tiny little storage chest more than it is a rat hole. But these are one of the most useful things in the game because storing a couple of chests into something like this or using a shovel to bury some stuff in this corner, nobody's gonna find it, and it's a nice little tuck away raid spot or like just a little hidey hole to get yourself up and running. So definitely capitalize on these kinds of things. All right, now number 21 on our list. We're almost there. All right, here we go. So another one of the weird rat holes of the game. So you can see that we are able to kind of move around this one a little bit. You can technically crouch and move your way around and have a couple extra smithies and stuff like that and something like this. But this one is a rather small rat hole, and the coordinates of it, just so you can see, are inside of one of the man-made structures. And you can literally, I mean, again, this is a single one player, maybe two, because it's such a hard one to find. Yeah, basically just move and finagle your way up into this thing right here, and it's a little crevice. You can plop down some, let's just say some metal foundations, right? Let's go ahead and toss one right there. You can see that it's, you can definitely get a little bit of work, and it'll, yeah, you can get a little bit of work out of this, maybe 2 or 3 foundations across. And because you can build inside of this, you can build like a fake base inside of this one or a fake rated base inside of this one and have something up in this, and people are never going to know. So definitely capitalize on these kinds of, again, this is more of a small one meant for solo players, maybe 2 or 3 players, but that's up to you if you want to use it for 2 or 3. Now, rat hole number 22. Another one that is pretty small on our list, but it is a very nice one, is again over on that cliff face. There is the one that is directly above, but because there's enough space, I wanted to show, you can see there's the one we talked about earlier. You can technically tuck your stuff away down on the bottom side of this or have an ally be near, and you can easily build right inside of this and have multiple bases or multiple people working together. Hint, hint, a lot of people do this anyway, so you should capitalize on this and kind of tuck yourself away in this little, or have a little hidey or a little teleporter that sits right underneath the map, because it's really hard to get to a spot like this because this thing kind of just tucks down and away. You would have a very hard time getting to a spot like this, plus being able to block it off is not a bad idea. So it's kind of like, I mean, we'll call this one like 22.5, but it is a nice little rat hole. So go to 23. All right, so another one of the larger style rat holes in the game. I'm going to go ahead and go out so you can see what I'm talking about. This right here, right? Clouds. This is the chords, 9544. Very difficult to find in clouds, so I'm hoping I can get my way back in here, and I did. So it's a little edge of the map build. You can see you can put, there's, I don't know, maybe 5 by 5 across, and then you can get it up into this zone right here. And it sits right against the edge of the map that is elevated, and people like that. So you can put a whole bunch of turrets around the entrance and definitely take advantage of that. So use that one because it's really good. Let's go ahead and change the fog. I think I have a command for that in. There we go. So there we go, fog gone. You can see it now a little bit better. And it's a pretty cool spot. Yep, but another smaller size rat hole for the game. A 24 on our list, another one of those ones. It's a small to mid-sized rat hole that people will have a tendency to store things in. And here we go. So you can see that I've kind of built, I like this one a lot. Now, why do I say that, right? So here we are. Over on a very similar ledge, but the difference is you can actually build up inside of some of these areas. Now, there are a lot of zones that are like this. Obviously, I built down on this one, but you can use this to build like a ceiling base inside of the wall, just like this one right here. I like these little spots. There's like 7 of them right here. You can utilize this. Just look up and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can build up in these and put like a little 2x2 down there with a cryo fridge. And you can use the walls because of how the things snap now. You can build up in this in order to get a teleport point, and that is a very useful spot for people. Now, again, these are very unique rat holes, but you can, the more unique you can be, the more, I guess, the less likely you are to be raided. And our last rat hole number 25, I know I've shown a few extras, so this is just the labeled one. This one is one that I used all the time inside of the last center. So on the map, there are giant entrance points, just so you can see them right here. This right here. This is a cliff face. That's that. The water is just, whatever it is. And on the edge of all of this, you can actually tuck away in a whole bunch of tiny little entrance points, just like this one, that have little locations that you can build massive bases inside of. Now, all of these are pretty cool. Now, some of these are unofficial, but, I like this one a lot. I'm pretty sure you can still build on this one unofficial. Rat hole number 25, the chords of it are pretty cool and unique. Now, I'm going to show you a few bonus locations that people don't really notice very often, but they are really important to realize they do exist. Now, this one, pretty sweet spot, right? Not too shabby. Massive cave. And you can build inside of this thing and have a whole bunch of entrance points because it's one of the ways that people can get from the bottom to the top. And yeah, just in general, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies all over this thing. I'm not going to keep making you watch it, but you can use this entire cave to build a base. And because it is such a long cave, you can put so many turret walls on it. And there are so many points that people don't even realize exist. Like this right here. My goodness. I love building in the ceilings, but that's me. You can build so many things in these caves because there are so many small little sectors that you can go through in order to build really unique locations. But because there are little side points, you kind of have to have multiple turret towers on multiple angles. So definitely keep that in mind. But you can build some pretty cool things inside of this game because of all of the stuff. I would really encourage you to go to the outside of the water or outside of the world like I am at right now. And you can pretty much find everything you could ever want in massive underground base locations where you got little outcroppings. Now, it's easy to raid these with boats, unfortunately, but you can find a lot of really neat base locations just by exploring a little bit on the center. It's got the most base locations out of any map, and it is well worth checking out. So I will find some more base locations, and hopefully I'll shoot them out to you guys as soon as I can. But hopefully, don't mind, leave it like, smash that comment, and then if you don't mind, sub to the channel for some more helpful art content. So hopefully this video helps you out, and teach.